Okay, we're going to solve this equation that's given here, and you're given that negative 2 is a 0 of f of x, which f of x is the same equation as the one above. The word 0 means x-intercept. What I know about this is if I do synthetic division with negative 2, what that's going to tell me is I should get a remainder of 0. Because again, when we do synthetic division, it's the same thing as putting negative 2 in here for x. And if I get a 0 as a result, that means that that's what my remainder should be when I do synthetic division. So if I do synthetic division, I'll get a 0. Now what I also will get is I'll get another part of the equation of f of x that can be set equal to 0 and solve, and we're going to use that to factor. So let's first do synthetic division so I can explain more what we get as a result. Negative 2 we'll put into here. We're going to put our coefficients 2, negative 3, negative 11, and 6. And then we're going to drop down the first term, reduce the synthetic division steps. You're going to multiply these, you get negative 4. That goes under the next column. Add that together, you get negative 7. Multiply that, you get 14. Add that together, you get 3. And when you multiply these together, you get negative 6. And there we go. We notice that we do get a remainder of 0 on that one, as to be expected. So what about this? Okay, now this part is what results as kind of like our quotient. So let's go ahead and put x's into that one. Normally it's written as x cubed. However, when I write it down here, I'm going to reduce the power by 1, so it's 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. I get that as the result. So what that means is that I can also set this equal to 0 to get my other solutions. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set that equal to 0, and that should be giving my other two answers, which is what they're looking for. I'm going to factor this, and I get 2x and x, and then 1 and 3 I can do there. And both of them are going to have to be negative because I want the middle term to be negative. The last number has to be positive, so I'm going to make both of these negative here. And I'll get negative 6 and negative 7, which will give me the negative 7 for the middle term there. So now I'm going to set this equal to 0 also, and I'm going to get my other answers. I get 2x minus 1 equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0. So I get x is equal to 1/2, and I also get x is equal to 3. That's going to be the other answers to this question. So the other part they want us to do is use your answer to factor f of x. Well, I already have something that's factored right here. It's these two. And then I also want to put the factor that includes negative 2. We talked about before in a previous section that the way you create a factor is if you put x minus whatever the 0 is. So what I can do here is I can put f of x is equal to x minus negative 2, which I'll turn that into a plus 2. Then this, I'm going to go ahead and leave that the way it is. That's already factored. So therefore, this whole thing right here, that would be the factored form of my f of x. So what happens is, when you do synthetic division, that basically is for this part only, and then if you get that part, the rest of it is going to be these two things here. So whenever you have three things multiplied together, these are considered factors. So when I was given that, essentially I was actually given one of the factors already, and so I used synthetic division to find out the remaining parts, which is going to be these here. That's why you're allowed to set this equal to 0 and get these two other solutions from it, because all three of those would be multiplied together.